Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers across the four corners of the earth, continuing to push this word and push the vibration of Yahushua HaMashiach. This is a quick video out of AP. It says the latest. Trump says UN now feels like home. And why is he saying that? Ultimately, he's gearing up for war with the other nations. And really, he's saying that he's coming at peace with these nations because he doesn't want the general public to freak out. Okay, and there's a couple of signs in this article that show that. It says United Nations AP, the latest on President DJ Trump's appearance at the UN General Assembly. This is 2 p.m. President DJ Trump has told foreign leaders at the UN General Assembly luncheon that the world body used to feel a bit like foreign territory, but that now it feels like home. You know, and that's Esau's pride. One of the big things about Esau, and this is how you know that Trump falls under that category of Edomite, is this pride. He feels like at first he was having a hard time with these nations, but now he feels like he's at the point where he can negotiate. That is not true, and that's not according to prophecy. The prophecy is not for all of this to work out and for everything to be A-okay. The prophecy is for all the other nations to turn against America, right, which will ultimately lead to its nuclear destruction. That's it. I mean, ultimately, that's all that's going to happen, you know, and the men of the Lord know this. You know, we know it for a fact. So he addressed the assembly earlier Tuesday, asserting American independence from the UN, a message that was not enthusiastically embraced by other members. And why does he want to break away and become his own entity, essentially? Because he feels like America is first. You know, he wants to put Babylon over all the other countries, and that's one of the reasons why ultimately the world hates America, aka Babylon, because it's essentially it wants to be number one. And you know, despite what people may say, China's number one, Russia's number one. No, in essence, overall, America has always been number one. You know what I mean? Since its inception, because ultimately the Lord built this place up in order to be destroyed, and in order for it to be destroyed, it has to be prophesied. It has to be prophesied being destroyed. You know, and that's where we come in. You know, the hopeful elect. And it says Trump had also acknowledged that his UN speech this year contrasted with last year's, when he called North Korean leader Kim Jong-un Rocket Man. And you remember last year, he was talking all that shit, and now he's starting to realize that he don't really have the means to back it up. So now he's starting to say, okay, everything's fine, everything's great. This is how we know that we're truly gearing up. It says Trump has claimed success, but so far the engagement has yet to achieve any concrete signs of success to denuclearize North Korea, and ultimately they're not going to denuclearize the place. North Korea is always going to have nukes. Pakistan's always going to have nukes. India, so on and so forth. France, Germany, Luxembourg, basically everybody, and they're going to use these arrows, right, ultimately to fuck us up. And let's just see if this video will play. Look at him. Look, boy, he's slick. He's slick too. That's what.
President, Mr. Secretary General, world leaders, ambassadors, and distinguished delegates. 1 year ago, I stood before you for the first time in this grand hall. I addressed the threats facing our world, and I presented a vision to achieve a brighter future.
Look how red he is.
For all of humanity.
And there is no bright future for humanity.
Today I stand before the United Nations General Assembly to share the extraordinary progress we've made. In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America
Salakia. Do you see how charming he is, man? This is a guy that just, he has a way with the people.
Like never before.
That's a lie.
Since my election, we've added $10 trillion in wealth.
But we've also added debt.
The stock market is at an all-time high in history.
That's because it's about to pop.
And jobless claims are at a 50-year low.
And the jobless claims are federal jobs. So, that can all be debunked. Simply, any jobs that are being increased are just federal jobs. Which are those even jobs? Are those even jobs? You know what I'm saying? So, essentially, this guy, man, I mean, he's just been lying through his teeth. Yeah, he's just been lying through his teeth, man. Because he's realizing that the shit's getting heavy, man. It's getting heavy. So I'm just going to read a little bit more of this. A couple of precepts, and this will be the end of the video. 1:20 p.m. it says President DJ Trump will hold a news conference this week so this must have been prior to that. Let's see. DJ Trump says the political and economic chaos in Venezuela is unacceptable. Let me see. Salakia. I had to deal with some demons. And you know how that goes. But it says here, Trump notes that the country, once one of the wealthiest countries in the hemisphere, is spiraling downward, and that's because essentially, like, that place has been chosen to kind of have that downfall. At one point, Venezuela had the most oil. Amongst other things, they have a lot of gold, and they became like a target, so to speak. So everybody that goes against the Babylonian way is ultimately getting pulled down. And that's ultimately that's what the Most High is doing. He's bringing all these other countries to their knees in order to bring Babylon up, and he's going to puff Babylon up and ultimately destroy it. So enough of this AP hoopla. Let's just do these couple of precepts. I forgot which one it is. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And who's the righteous? Israel. And the people that are seeing these things for what they are, not the 2/3, not you heathens, okay? Ultimately, the men of the Lord, the watchmen, the hopeful elect, the men that are sighing and crying about these atrocities taking place. This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord, and who's proud in their heart? Well, people like Trump, man. You see how he's talking. He's very proud. And it says, though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. And when it says hand join in hand, it's obviously talking about like the UN, the EU, these other committees that join together. And though they join together, ultimately, Babylon's going to fall. This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 17. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And who are those two sticks? The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. And they're going to join together soon enough. And this place is going to be righteous, man. And that's what we pray for. So ultimately, man, everything's going as described. Everything's going as it should move. Prophecy is moving extra fast. You watchmen, stay on your path. And, there's demons everywhere, man. I'm trying to do videos. People bothering you. And ultimately, it's Satan, man. He's trying to get you off the course, but you got to keep going, man. So. Oh, and why not? Why not this last one? This is for you, so-called black women. This is Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. How beautiful are thy feet with shoes, O prince's daughter. The joints of thy thighs are like jewels. the work of the hands of a cunning workman. So that's when the Lord was making you. You know, he made you in a very beautiful image. Yet y'all believe these people, you know, that things are getting better and whatnot. And a lot of these federal employees are actually black women. So they believe that the economy is getting better because you see more black women getting hired in the private sector, public sector, and whatever you may have. But man, ultimately, man, Israel's rising up. Esau's going down. Babylon's going to be destroyed. And, you know, pretty soon we're going to be done with this thing, man. So with that, I just want to say shalom to the hopeful elect.